All right, so this is a quick oil change on a 2022 Lifan KPX 250. All you're really going to need is a 17 millimeter socket on a wrench. You don't even need an extension, and a 8 millimeter socket. I do it on a drill, but you can just put that on a small extension to remove your oil filter. So oil drain is right there. You can see I already got mine draining. It's a 17 millimeter. Just remove that, maybe warm it up a little so it actually drains out quick, especially if it's been cold and sitting for a while. Let that drain completely. If you got a big enough oil pan, at the same time, you can go ahead and start wedging off your oil filter cover. So I'll start to do that. Okay, oil filter cover. Get your smallest blade screwdriver you have, so I guess that is a third tool. And just barely get it in there without scratching any paint. And just wedge it around. Work your way around. Don't mar the surface. Eventually that'll come out. All right, it is held in by 2 O-rings, so as I pull out, you're going to see some oil, of course, but also the pressure will release, and you got your filter. This is not the stock filter. This is a Kawasaki filter, and we can kind of see some of those metal shavings still. Loud bike with no exhaust driving by. Great. This is a good chance to kind of look at your oil as it flows, and we're going to investigate this for a minute. Tilt your bike towards the side, and you'll get a lot more oil out quicker. All right, now if you want to be thorough, we're on the other side of the engine now. Down here is a oil filter screen. It's just a screen, it's not an actual filter, so you don't have to replace it, you just clean it. It is, I believe, a 24 millimeter. I use a 31/32 because I don't happen to have a 24 millimeter. You're definitely going to need an extension if you don't want to take off the shifter. Kind of annoying to get to. Push your shifter down. You'll be able to unscrew it. There's a spring and a screen behind it, so be ready for that all to pop out. Okay, I have it unscrewed. You can see, I'll pull it all out. Boom, just like that. Spring, cap, and filter screen, which looks relatively clean this time. So I'll just double check it and put it back together. Let a little more oil drain out. Reverse order to assemble. Start with your oil drain plug. We'll put that in, and then I'm waiting on my oil filter to arrive. We'll put that in the cover, and then we'll fill it with oil. This is worth noting for reassembly. If you'll notice, you have an oil passageway right there, and you have an oil passageway on the side of this. So when you put it back together, make sure those line up. Don't go 90 off or 180 off. When you change your oil, the first time there's going to be metal shavings. Maybe the second time a little bit. After a few hundred miles, what you expect to see is basically clean oil. So sunlight here, if there was metal in that, it would be sparkling all over. You can look down into your filter and you will be able to see the tiniest little flakes if they're there. Doesn't appear to be a lot in this one. So this seems pretty healthy, so we're just going to reassemble. Just waiting on my oil filter. Come on. And while we wait, we'll explain. Yes, it has a picture of a diesel truck. Doesn't say motorcycle anywhere on it. Heavy duty diesel engine oil. All we care, 15W40 SAE. And right down here, JSO MA2, which makes it suitable for wet clutch application. That's why we always say use this one, because we know it's wet clutch safe. If not, make sure whatever you're using has JSO certification. Oil filter delivery via motorcycle. Everybody gets those, right? Put it all back together. Take your oil, put it in a funnel, add about 1.25 quarts or so. Then to check it, make sure you get the bike level before you check, and you should have it on there, so I don't have enough. No, never going to focus, but you get the idea.